I learned that my wife cheated on me with a young guy, and my daughters knew everything. I am 55 years old. I found out that my wife, who is 52, cheated on me a few years ago. I never noticed any suspicious behavior from her. We always had a strong relationship for 25 years of marriage. We have 3 daughters, aged 17, 20, and 23. At least, I thought we had a strong relationship, or maybe not. One day, I received a message from a woman whose fiancé confessed to her that he had cheated with an older colleague. He gave the name of his mistress, so she did a little investigation and found me. She thought I deserved to know the truth. I don't know if she did it out of revenge on my wife or really out of good intentions, but it doesn't matter anymore. At first, I didn't believe her, but she started giving more and more details, dates, names of colleagues who knew. Everything pointed to the truth. The guy told her everything, the name of the hotel, even the address of my damn house, because my wife invited him over, her phone number, and so on. So yes, at some point, I had to face reality. He was 21 at the time, just a boy. I still can't believe she slept with a kid. It happened when I was on a business trip. A classic. When I put all the facts together, I realized that my wife most likely planned everything. My business trip was planned several months in advance. It's hard to believe that she just suddenly cheated on me specifically during this period of my absence. For me, she no longer exists. I'm ready for a divorce. Right now, I'm just preparing, getting my finances in order, and so on. A good friend of mine went through the same thing and advised me not to confront her right away, because a wife can explode if you corner her. I don't think she would do that, but who knows? I thought I knew her, but it turns out I didn't. It's very hard to see her every day because she pretends that nothing happened. She's planning our next vacation. She says we need to visit our daughters. The eldest works in another city, the middle one is in college, and the youngest is finishing high school. She's just like a roommate to me now. I feel nothing. I'm a ghost living in this house. I get up at 5 o'clock a.m., go to the gym, then to work. I have my own business. I come back around 7 o'clock p.m. and do my own thing. It seems like she feels that something is wrong, but I don't care anymore. What hurts the most is that my daughters knew about the affair. The fiancé of that girl told her that my daughter caught them when they were kissing in our living room. My wife thought she would be at school all day. Apparently, she managed to calm her down and explain the situation somehow. I don't know exactly what happened, but my daughter didn't tell me anything, so I'm not sure what my wife told her to keep her silent. Considering how close she is with her sisters, I'm 100% sure she shared it with them, and the 3 of them decided to hide everything from me. That's probably why I feel so detached. I believe I was a good father to them. I work hard in my business so they can have the very best. I always put them first in any business decisions to provide them with a debt-free education and give them the best start in life. I tried to be there for them at every stage of their lives. In short, I did what any father should do. Of course, we had our ups and downs, but nothing serious. They are my little girls. I always saw them as my little princesses. And to know that they knew everything is very painful. Part of me thinks they didn't say anything because they were afraid of breaking up the family. I understand that, but still, anger is building up inside me, and it's only growing. We have a family chat on WhatsApp, and when I see them asking for advice, asking for help with a down payment on an apartment, and so on, I just want to scream and unload everything on them. But I understand that it won't solve anything. It will give me 10 seconds of relief, and then everything will come back, and it will hurt again. Another part of me just wants to leave, close the bank account, and leave the house, cut all ties and disappear without a word. My good friend talked me out of it. The law doesn't look kindly on that, but to be honest, it's getting harder for me to dismiss this idea. I don't want to talk. I don't want to understand their point of view. I just want to go somewhere, for example, to Thailand, and live on the beach for a couple of months. And maybe one day I'll be ready to listen to them. Or maybe not. I don't want to hear how sorry they are, how they regret not telling me. They had 3 years. For 3 years they looked me in the eyes and kept silent. I don't understand at all how they managed to act as usual, as if nothing had happened. I have a feeling that all 4 of them are real manipulators, and the anger inside me just won't subside. What would you do in my place? Reconciliation with my wife is out of the question. She only disgusts me, and the fact that she continues to act like a loving wife only adds fuel to the fire. I'm glad my friend helped me and shared her experience. It allowed me to look at everything from the outside. I really need advice about my daughters. As I said, part of me wants to talk to them. The other part feels that they no longer deserve a second chance because of their lies. It's too late. I'm just completely confused. Thanks for reading. It took me forever to write this post, but strangely, I feel a little better. Edited. Hi, everyone. I've read all the comments and decided to add an update so you know what I'm thinking. First, a lawyer is already involved. Yes, the process has started. The lawyer said that since the children are adults, there will be no alimony. As for spousal support, she can request it. But since she has a job and earns well, the court will most likely deny her request. We only have a joint account for common expenses. Otherwise, we each have our own accounts. This was very wise advice from my parents. If both work, you don't need to put everything into a common pot. I am eternally grateful to them for that. The lawyer said she might try to prove that since my business is successful, she is entitled to a part of it if I decide to sell it. But, again, since she works, this can be disputed. To be honest, I don't care anymore. Second, I need to talk to my daughters. I know I have to. You are absolutely right. The reason I haven't done it yet is the anger that won't go away. I feel like, if even one of them says the wrong thing, I might snap. And yes, I would like to believe that my wife somehow convinced them to keep this secret and that my outburst would only make things worse. Yes, the anger might be misdirected, but to be clear, when I found out about the affair, I hated my wife, and then the anger turned into indifference. I'm filing for divorce, and she will no longer be in my life. But with the children, it's different. I can't hate them. I have feelings for them. Unfortunately, right now, it's anger. I assume that the youngest shared it with the other two because they have always been very close and supported each other, and I was always proud of that. So it's hard to believe that the youngest didn't tell anyone. But as someone wrote, I can't be 100% sure about that. In any case, I don't want to blame them. I'll understand if they say they just didn't want to destroy the family and all that, but it's hard to accept the fact of the lie. As someone wrote, well, part of me feels as if they took the side of their cheating mother. I think I need time alone to process everything. Time that I haven't had for a long time. A wife, 3 daughters, a business. My only personal time is the gym, but even that is not enough to make the anger go away. And in my current situation, it would be strange to just tell them that I'm flying to Hawaii for a month. Third, paternity tests, STDs, and so on. I need to get checked. That's not even up for discussion. I already have an appointment at the clinic. I will do all the necessary tests. Paternity tests. I don't know what the point of that is. In the worst case, they are not my biological children. So what? I raised them for 20 years. They are my daughters. Blood relation is not the main thing here, and if they are not mine, it's their mother's fault, not theirs. I can't blame them for that. Fourth, maybe that woman who wrote to me lied. That was my first thought. Well, with 3 adult daughters, I thought my wife and I had a strong marriage. The first thing I replied to her was, I'm sorry you're going through this, but I don't believe your story about my wife, and then she started to tell everything in more detail, providing evidence. As I said, I don't care if she did it out of revenge or out of conscience. But the more she talked, the more doubts settled in my head, and they didn't disappear. I started my own investigation. And as you can imagine, it's much easier to look for clues when you know what you're looking for. I'm not one to hide from reality. Facts are facts. And no matter how painful it is, you have to face the truth. As far as I understand, that woman and my wife's lover were preparing for a wedding. I don't know what happened to them, but apparently, at some point, he decided to confess everything. What went on in his head, only God knows. Fifth, cut all TIs and move on. I think such comments are written by people without children. You can't just up and leave. I meant that I need to go away for a while to think things over. And when I recover, we'll talk, but yes, things will never be the same again. I love them. They love me. But it's not the same anymore. Nevertheless, no matter how angry I am, I understand that I can't just disappear like that. If the youngest really didn't tell anyone else and kept it all to herself, then my departure could be devastating for her, and the older ones might start blaming her. This is the worst-case scenario for me. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I have to be a father and protect them. I will ask the lawyer to speed up the preparation of the documents and officially serve my wife the papers. And on the same day, I will have a Skype call with my daughters. They live in different states. I want to do it on that specific day so that they don't have time to talk to their mother and she doesn't start playing the victim. I want her to think until the very end that I don't suspect anything until I'm ready myself. It's Sunday now. I hope by next week everything will be ready and then I can finally talk to my girls. We'll see how it goes. As many of you advised, last week I invited my youngest daughter to lunch. During lunch, I asked if there was anything she wanted to share with me. I don't know what it was, my face or my tone, but she immediately understood what I was talking about, burst into tears, and told me the whole story. It turned out she really did see her mother kissing another man a few years ago in our house. Apparently, my ex kicked the guy out and sat down to talk to our daughter. She explained that it was a fleeting mistake, an impulse, and thanked our daughter for stopping it. She swore it was a one-time mistake and begged her not to tell me because, knowing me, I would have left her and the family immediately. My daughter said she agreed to keep this secret because she believed her mother. Later, she shared it with her two other sisters. As you can imagine, they were shocked. The eldest, apparently, didn't believe in a single kiss. It was too convenient that the youngest walked into the living room and caught them supposedly for the first time. She told them not to worry and that she would deal with her mother herself. I can't help but be proud of her for taking this burden upon herself. As far as the youngest knows, the eldest talked to their mother about her affair and said, if she doesn't confess herself, then they will tell me. But over the past few years, their mother always found a convenient excuse to postpone the conversation. Work, a sick relative, something else. There was always a valid reason not to destroy the family right now. At the end of lunch, I told my daughter that I would contact her sisters to discuss everything. She insisted on being part of the conversation. I wrote to my other two daughters that we needed to talk urgently. We quickly arranged a video call. Part of me thinks they already suspected what I wanted to talk about. I told them that their sister had told me what happened. Both immediately burst into tears, started asking for forgiveness, said they wanted to tell me everything, and so on. In short, I told them I wasn't angry. I said I was sorry they had to carry such a burden for so many years and that I would always love them. As for their mother, I said I would leave because I don't see myself with someone who betrayed me. But I added that I would talk to her first before making a final decision. That's the least I should do. I asked my daughters not to say anything to their mother, as I was going to talk to her myself that same evening. At the end of the day, I returned home. My wife was already there, as usual, talking about her day and everything. I told her that I had an interesting conversation with our daughter. She immediately understood what it was about, started crying, saying it was just a kiss and that she knew how much I value trust and was afraid of losing me over such a small thing. Honestly, I thought that when I saw her cry, I wouldn't be able to hold back either. But nothing, not a single tear. I told her that she would receive the divorce papers by courier tomorrow. And that's it. After that, I went to the bedroom, packed a few things, and left. I didn't even know where to go. I just couldn't stay in that house anymore. I booked a hotel room downtown and called my youngest daughter to tell her I wouldn't be home for the night. She replied that she was just about to spend the night at a friend's so she wouldn't have to go back and face her mother. But since I wasn't home, she asked if she could stay with me. Of course. I informed my other two daughters that my sister and I would be staying at the hotel for the night. They asked if we could all discuss it together. I agreed. During the conversation, I told them what the next steps would be according to my lawyer. I also made it clear that they are my daughters and I love them. I couldn't hold back and said that it hurts me that they didn't tell me anything. I said I thought we had a strong bond, that we could talk about anything. They burst into tears and started asking for forgiveness. And I reminded them that, no matter what, they are my daughters and I love them. But I also said that I need time to start acting like myself again. I said I was thinking about a long trip to clear my head. The eldest said that if I need it, then I should go. After that, we just went to sleep. The next morning, my youngest and I were having breakfast, and then my mother called. I really didn't want to answer the phone, but my daughter insisted that I answer. I agreed and put it on speakerphone. As soon as I picked up the phone, it was immediately clear that she had probably been drinking all night. She started crying, saying that she loves me, that we were made for each other, that this would destroy the children, and so on. I told her that the children are already grown. They don't need us anymore. We gave them everything we could. Now it's up to them to build their own lives. And suddenly she became just monstrous. She said she would take everything from me, that she would bankrupt my company, that she would tell our daughters that I beat her, and so on. I was in shock, just looking at my daughter, who also couldn't believe her ears. I decided to end the conversation and said that my lawyer would contact her. My daughter and I didn't even know what to say to each other. It was as if the person we had lived with for 20 years had suddenly turned into someone completely different. 5 minutes later, she received a message from her mother. She wrote that they needed to talk. My daughter was scared. I told her not to answer. In any case, her mother was clearly drunk, so nothing good would have come of that conversation. I said that I would stay at the hotel until everything settled down and that she could stay with me if she wanted. We all had a video call again, and I told my other two daughters what had happened. As you can imagine, they were in shock. I met with my lawyer, told him everything. He said that I have nothing to worry about. My mother has a good job and a stable financial situation. I have a business that employs 5,100 people, and no judge will risk that. Given her standard of living, she will receive half of the common property, the house, the car, and so on. But she won't be able to get to my personal savings, and she certainly won't be able to claim a part of the company. My daughter said she is afraid to go back home to her mother. She's scared that she will blame everything on her. I said I would rent an apartment downtown, and she could live there with me until she feels ready to go back or until she goes to college. It seems that crazy call from her mother really shook her. I said that if needed, I could find a specialist for her to talk to, for example, a psychologist. We'll see if she wants to. My wife received the documents and apparently caused drama in both her family and mine. Her relatives tried to call us, but the eldest just blew them off. On my side, my brother just supported me. He knows that I wouldn't have gone through all this without a serious reason. So that's how things are. The divorce is in process. My daughter is staying with me until she feels ready to go back home. Or maybe she won't go back. My wife is bombarding me with messages. Maybe I'll meet with her, but my lawyer strongly advises against it. He said that I have nothing to gain from it, but I could lose a lot. I think I'll listen to his advice. I'm not going to Thailand until I'm sure that my youngest is okay. So if I do go, it will probably be next year when she finishes school. I don't know what our daily life will be like now. We'll see. I don't think I'll write another update unless something really important happens. So I want to thank everyone again for their support. I never thought I'd be in this situation, and I hope none of you ever are. Thank you all. And now we have the next story. My story 1. Girlfriend wrecked my retro car. My girlfriend secretly took my 1967 Impala, which I was rebuilding in the garage, to the junkyard. I want to sue her. I'll try to be brief. I had a 4-door 1967 Impala that I bought in February 2019. A couple of months ago, I bought my first house with a 2-car garage. I pulled the car inside and started disassembling it for a full restoration. The body was in one part of the garage, the chassis in another, and the whole garage was filled with parts. About 2 months ago, my girlfriend moved in with me during all this mess. She hated that car all the time. She wanted to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land with plenty of great parking spots in the shade of trees. Or, hell, there's even a barn if she really wanted to park under a roof. I said she had to wait. It's my house, after all. And it's not that easy to put the whole car back together in a couple of hours. Anyway, I was away for a couple of days on a business trip. When I got back, my girlfriend was beaming with happiness, cooking, doing all the housework, and everything. I thought she was just happy that I was back, but then I noticed that her car wasn't in its usual spot. I asked where she parked so I could mow the lawn there, and she said not to worry, as she parked in the garage. I asked how, and she said, go see, and it turned out that while I was away, she hired people who came and took everything from the garage related to the car, the transmission, the body, the chassis, and all the parts. They took it all to the local junkyard. I was just effing pissed. I spent over $11,000 on that car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her I would sue her, and she brushed it off as if I was overreacting. I said that we were over, and I told her to pack her bags and get out of my house. I admit, I was very angry, but in the end, I hired a lawyer. I have all the receipts for the money I spent and security camera footage from my house of her letting these guys in and watching them take everything away. I think I have a chance to win. Her family and friends are just attacking me. They say it's just an old piece of junk and she won't be able to pay back all that money, so I should just forget about it. But I invested a lot of time, effort, and money into this car over a year and a half, and I'm not just going to let it all go. I edited. A huge thank you to everyone for their support. I'm glad there are people who are on my side. Just about 20 minutes ago, her mother called and said that I was ruining her daughter's life over some crappy car. I replied that she ruined her own life. I'm gathering the documents and I'm going to go to the police and file a report, as many of you here advised. Thanks again to everyone. Update. I went to the station last night. They told me to come in the morning. I just got back, filed an official report against her for grand theft and auto theft. I showed them all the receipts for the car and the video of her letting those guys in and watching them take everything away, as well as the title of ownership for the car in my name. They said they would contact all three parties soon, me, my ex, and the guys from the junkyard. I hope I can get the car back completely, or at least partially. Now all that's left is to wait. Edited. It turned out that those guys from the junkyard were just trying to hide the car when the cops arrived. It was already on a loader, and they were about to throw it on top of a pile of other cars hidden behind another pile. They said it was their car and they had the papers for it. But of course, they didn't have any papers. The VIN on the chassis and body matched the one in my documents. So the car is obviously mine. I know that at least one person from the junkyard has already been arrested. I think he was on that same camera footage, but I don't know if he was the main guy or what specific charge he was taken in on. The cops also said they would dig further into this junkyard, looking for other cars reported as stolen. They haven't been able to contact my ex yet, but they're working on it. I'm just so damn glad they found my car. Fortunately, I made a whole album of photos detailing how I disassembled the car, so I can prove which parts are mine and hopefully get everything or almost everything back. The police won't let me take it home yet. They say it's listed as material evidence, so I hope they'll return it later. Thank you all for your support and advice. The car will be okay. Well, write your opinion in the comments about this story. It seems to me that it's obvious that the girl wanted to push the guy around, and if he had given in, it wouldn't have ended well. So it's very good that he did what he did. Their relationship would have obviously been just awful. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Watch our previous video, which you will see right here. And good luck to you.